my name is Carla from Miami. Please like and subscribe. When I was 5 years old, my astronaut dad went to space and never returned. His colleagues searched for him for weeks until they finally told us that he was gone for good. After that, I grew up with my famous fashionista mom who styled celebrities. As you'd expect, I picked up fashion and makeup skills at a very young age. Mom thought I would be a fashionista like her, until one day, she walked in on me sitting on a pile of Dad's books, reading to my dolls.
Sweetheart, you can actually read that book?
Yes, I can, Mom. Dad used to teach me. A few days later, Mom put together a mini library for me, but I finished reading all the children's books there within no time. In school, it didn't take long for my teachers to realize that I was kind of a genius. And by the time I was in 7th grade, I could solve senior year level math problems within minutes. It was kind of my superpower. As I grew older, I became prettier, much to Mom's delight. She thought for sure I had a future in modeling, but I told her I had other plans.
What plans? What could be better than becoming a famous model?
I want to be just like Dad.
But you're so pretty, you don't have to kill yourself studying.
Mom bought me all the designer outfits she could find, hoping I'd see what I was missing. That only made me the most stylish nerd at school. I finally graduated high school with perfect scores and got into the most prestigious university in the United States. Only the best of the best were accepted there, and I was one of them. I spent hours getting ready for my first day of class at the university. I finally settled on an outfit, and as I hurried to class, I realized I was a few minutes late. Not exactly how I wanted to start my first day. When I walked in, my designer heels click-clacked on the auditorium floor. I looked for the nearest seat, and as I went to sit, someone stuck their leg out and I tripped and fell into my seat, my books landing on the floor. Hey, what's your problem?
Are you lost, Barbie? This is not the Barbie dollhouse. Fashion school's that way.
The whole auditorium burst out laughing. Right, I had forgotten that outside of my high school, everyone saw me for only my looks. A dumb blonde who couldn't possibly be anything more than a brainless doll face.
Settle down, everyone. Girl in pink, it's good for you to join us. Now find a seat and let's continue. Brody, pick on someone your own size.
Great, even the professor was making fun of me.
Welcome, everyone, and congratulations. If you are sitting here right now, it means that you are among the best in this country. In fact, one of you here earned the highest score in the history of the SATs.
By now, everyone was looking around, whispering to each other about who it could be.
Well, whoever it is, it's definitely not Barbie over here.
Seriously, what was his problem? I was about to say something when the girl seated next to him turned to me and handed me some of my books.
Don't mind this jerk. He thinks he's the only one who deserves to be here.
Thanks.
Joan.
Hi, I'm Carla. She smiled at me and then kicked Brody's seat, almost tipping him over. We both burst out laughing. By the end of the week, Joan had stopped so many attacks from Brody that I lost count. She was sort of my protector. One afternoon, she invited me to watch her as she tried out for the university swimming team. I was so excited, but as soon as I sat down, a shadow blocked my view. I looked up to see Brody in nothing but tiny swim shorts. He'd just gotten out of the pool and was dripping water all over my shoes. Ugh, you again? Move, you're blocking my view.
You don't belong here.
And who are you to judge that? You don't know anything about me.
Let me guess, your parents' money got you here, right?
It was almost Joan's turn to swim, so I stood up and walked past Brody trying to get a better view of the pool. And guess what he did? He tripped me. Again! I went down screaming, and when I tried to get up, I slipped and fell into the pool, face first. I splattered around the pool, trying to find anything I could hold on to. Help! I can't swim! A few seconds later, someone grabbed me and pulled me out of the pool. As soon as I saw who it was, I went ballistic. Stay away from me! Don't you dare come near me ever again!
I am so sorry, Carla. I didn't know.
Just then, Joan ran towards us. She took one look at my drenched clothes and turned to Brody.
You jerk!
Without warning, she slapped Brody across his face. I shot to my feet and grabbed her before she could slap him a second time. Brody stormed away, while Joan helped me dry off before she got called to the lineup. She won her round of the tryouts, and when she got out of the water, I hugged her. I can't believe how good you are! You can easily get into the Olympics!
Thanks. Now, let's get out of here. Any plans for this evening?
How about we go to my room and order pizza to celebrate your win? My treat.
Sounds perfect.
A few hours later, Joan and I were sitting on my dorm room bed, a large pizza between us, when someone knocked on my door. I answered it only to find Brody standing there. What are you doing here? How did you even find my room?
Carla, I'm really sorry.
so it's not Barbie now?
I'm sorry for calling you that, but I'm here because of what happened earlier. When you said you couldn't swim, I felt so guilty.
Leave.
Before he could say anything else, Joan slammed the door in his face, then turned to me.
Oh my god, you can't swim? You must have been terrified.
Joan sounded so worried, and I enjoyed the attention, but I had to tell her the truth. I have to tell you something.
Sure, what is it?
I can swim.
What? But Brody just said...
I know. I just said that to mess with him after he tripped me and I fell into the pool. I expected her to be mad at me, but instead she burst out laughing.
I underestimated you. You're evil. Served him right, though. He was a jerk for tripping you again.
We spent the rest of the night talking and laughing. I looked forward to the next class because I knew Brody was not going to be mean to me ever again. Or so I thought. When Joan and I walked into class a few days later, a bunch of students were gathered around my seat. As soon as they saw us, they walked in different directions, some laughing. That's when I saw it. My usual seat was painted pink, and the word Barbie was written on it in large gold letters. I immediately looked at Brody, and he was trying so hard not to burst out laughing. Brody, I know you did this! I thought you said you were sorry!
That was before I found out you lied to me about not being able to swim.
I turned to Joan. You told him?
What? No way.
Then how did he know?
I overheard you after your girlfriend slammed the door in my face.
Of course he had eavesdropped. I wanted to tell him that Joan wasn't my girlfriend. I wished she could be, but I hadn't gathered the courage to ask her yet.
Keep your big ears out of your business.
Joan was standing toe-to-toe with Brody, and I was so sure she was going to tackle him when the professor walked in. He went straight to the whiteboard and wrote a math equation.
This is one of the most complex math equations. I'd like volunteers to solve it. First one to solve it gets free dinner at a restaurant of their choice.
Brody raised his hand immediately.
I'll do it, and I'd like Barbie to do it too.
What? I didn't raise my hand.
Are you scared that I'll beat you? Come on, I thought you'd jump at the opportunity to prove that you're not just a pretty face.
Everyone stared at me, waiting for my answer.
You don't have to prove anything to anyone, Carla.
I know, but I need to do this. I walked to the board and stood next to a smirking Brody. The professor set up a timer for us as Brody and I took a marker and started writing on the board. A few minutes later, I stepped away from the board. I'm done! The professor looked at my work and verified that I had gotten the answer right.
And she did it in record-breaking time, too.
Everybody gasped and clapped. Brody was so flustered that I'd finished before him and got it right that he dropped his marker. The professor looked at Brody's work, and not only had he not finished solving his equation, the formulas he was using were all wrong as well. He went back to his seat, head bowed and face red. When I got to my seat, Joan launched herself at me, hugging me and squealing.
That was amazing!
Before I could say anything, she kissed me and hoots and cheers erupted all around us. I closed my eyes and kissed her back. I couldn't believe this was happening. I had just been kissed for the first time, and by a girl. Best feeling ever. A few seconds later, the professor cleared his throat and brought us back to Earth.
All right, well, that's enough excitement for the day. Take your seats, please.
I leaned into Joan and whispered, "To be continued?"
You bet.
I barely heard anything the professor said after that. I was over the moon and had a stupid grin on my face while Brody scowled. The next few days were pure bliss, as Joan and I spent every moment together. I took her to her favorite restaurant for the professor's reward dinner, and we had a great time. Joan was very athletic and was on almost every university sports team. One afternoon, I went to watch her play basketball. I walked into the court to find her and her teammates standing by the sidelines. "Why aren't you guys playing yet?"
Brody and his buddies won't leave. We've been waiting for over 30 minutes. I think we should just... Carla, watch out!
I reacted just in time to catch a ball that Brody had thrown my way. If it wasn't for my quick reflexes, I'd have gotten a broken nose. Are you crazy?
Nice catch, Blondie. Now, could I have my ball back?
No, the girls have a right to play too. It's time for you guys to leave.
Oh, so you're also a feminist? Great. Tell you what, the guys and I will leave if you play against me and win.
Joan and I looked at each other, and she shook her head.
You don't have to do this. The girls and I can leave. Plus, you're in a skirt.
No way I'm letting him win.
Get ready to lose, sweetheart.
I'm not your sweetheart. The game got heated as Brody and I shot hoop after hoop, none of us losing to the other. Brody and his buddies were beginning to get frustrated, and I knew it was time to make my special move. When I had the ball, I dribbled and charged towards the hoop, and then jumped as high as I could, leaping towards the hoop. Everyone held their breath as I made the most perfect slam dunk. Joan and her teammates went wild, and before I knew it, she was in the court hugging me and lifting me up. After that, Brody made no scores and he left the court hurriedly. His buddies close behind.
Oh my god, did you see the pathetic look on his face?
Enjoy the court, girls. Brody stayed out of my way after that, until one Saturday when the boys' basketball team won a match against their biggest rivals.
Party at our dorm this evening. Everyone is welcome, even you, Barbie.
Fresh cheers erupted as everyone jumped in joy. Brody was known for his parties. Joan and I agreed to meet at the party that evening. When I arrived, I called her, but she didn't pick up, so I decided to go inside and look for her. The place was packed and loud music blared.
Hey, looking for your girlfriend? She's in there with Brody.
I didn't like the sound of that, so I hurried into the room. As soon as I walked in, my heart stopped. Brody and Joan were there, but that's not what stopped my heart. What shook me to my core was the fact that they were kissing. What the heck is going on here? Brody turned to me, an evil smile on his face, while Joan suddenly pushed him and darted to my side.
What did it look like? Your girlfriend just kissed me.
That's a lie. I came in here to return your call, and he followed me, then tried to kiss me. Please believe me.
I turned to Joan and hugged her. Of course I believe you. Then I looked at Brody in anger. Joan, let's get out of here. This place stinks anyway. I took my girlfriend's hand and we walked out of there smiling. During our final math class for the semester, the professor walked in, a smile on his face.
At the beginning of the semester, I announced that one of you scored the highest SAT score in the history of SATs. Can anyone guess who that is?
I listened as everyone whispered and wondered who the top student was.
I bet it's Brody. He's pretty smart.
What about Carla? She solved the math equation pretty quick.
No way, she just got lucky.
I bet that's what everyone thought. I could fly a rocket to the moon and they'd still think I was just a dumb blonde. So unfair.
For those of you who guessed Carla, you're right.
Everyone went silent, except for Brody.
What? No way. That's enough, Brody. All semester I've watched you harass Carla. The only reason I didn't kick you out of this class is because she asked me not to, and assured me she could handle your attempts at humiliating her. Now what do you have to say for yourself?
All eyes were on Brody, and just as he was about to speak, I stood up. Thanks, Professor. I know that most of you are surprised that a girl who looks like me could have the highest score, but I wanted to tell you that I don't have to dress down just because I'm smart. There's absolutely no problem if I dress and look like a Barbie and still beat you at math. And you know what, Brody? I actually love my pink seat. As everyone cheered, Brody stood up. I expected him to say something mean, but he surprised everyone.
Congratulations, Carla. And I'm sorry I stereotyped you like that. It was very wrong of me.
I stared up at the ceiling.
What are you doing?
Waiting to see pigs fly.
Haha, she's funny too. Seriously though, I'm really sorry. Truth is, I was mean because I like you.
Huh?
Well, I have a little crush on you.
That's not an excuse to be a jerk, Brody. Plus, Carla is my girlfriend now, so walk away. And next time you try to kiss me, I'll punch you right in the face.
Joan took my hand and Brody took a step back. His hands lifted in surrender.
Whoa, no need for violence.
Joan and I laughed. See you around, Brody. I look forward to beating you at math and basketball next semester.
It's on.
Semester.
It's on.
Semester.